All right, so there are certain words in these problems that are going to help us determine what we need to do. So that's the first thing that I want to focus on. So if you had a problem like 15% of 80 is blank. The word of and the word is both have meanings in math that are very important, and they're used a lot, these words are. So we're going to rewrite this problem so that we aren't using the words of and is. Does anyone know what the word of means in math, like what you should do? All right, so of means multiply, and of always means multiply in math. What about the word is? Do you know what the word is means? So if I said 2 plus 2 is 4, equals. Is means equals. Yes. So if I'm rewriting this word sentence, because it has words and numbers, if I'm rewriting that with only symbols and numbers, then my 80 is not going to change. But what we worked on the last 2 days is changing a 15% to a decimal. And the reason that we need to do that is because you can't, or you shouldn't, put 15% into a calculator. You don't want to put in 15 and then try to find a percentage sign, because there's not a percentage sign on the calculator in front of you. So what we can do in a calculator is we can put in the decimal form of this. So we're going to change, though, the 15% into decimal form. So as a review, how do we change a percent into a decimal? We don't want to move the percent 2 places to the left, the decimal, right? So remember, it's always 2 places. So in the number 15, it makes it pretty easy because it's just 0.15 times 80, and then you hit enter. So go ahead and do that. 0.15 times 80, enter. 12. All right, let's do another one. What if you had 10% of 80 is... Now, again, I would like for you to rewrite this using the symbols. So please rewrite it first, because you're going to have to do that on your assignment too. I don't want you to have to go back and put in that work, because that's really frustrating then, because your teacher's asking you to. That wasn't a burn. That was not a burn. So we want to change 10% into decimal form. What is 10% as a decimal? 0.10, because again, we're moving it 2 places. So it'd be 0.10. Of is, of means times 80 equals. So again, you should have what I have here written in blue. 0.10 times 80 equals. And it is 8. What if you had 4%, so that's a very small percentage, 4% of 70 is? Again, write the problem before you just put it in your calculator. You have to show your work. Now, if you wrote out the problem, then we can quickly see what you did wrong. Okay, again, if you wrote out the problem, because when you wrote out the problem, you should have moved the decimal not 1 place, because you have 1 digit, but 2 places, because it's always 2 places no matter what. So it should have been 0.04 times 70. 0.04. Some of you did 0.4. So it's 2.8. Now again, the reason that I instantly knew when someone said the answer was 28, the reason I knew it was not right without me even doing it was because 4% is a very small percentage of 70. And someone said 28, which is almost half of 70. And I'm like, there's no way that 28 out of 70 is 4%. It's too big of a number. It has to be a small number, like 2.8. 2.8 makes sense. So make sure your answers make sense, okay? How about we have 116%, that's a big percentage, of 35. is. Again, write your problem before you put it in your calculator. Do not shout out the answer, please. Alright, so the first thing you should have done was change this percentage into a decimal. Some people get a little caught up when there's a decimal that's already written, that's a part of the percentage. They're like, oh, it's already a decimal. No, it's still a percent. You still need to move that decimal 2 places. And when you do, you get 0.005. Okay? So did you get 0.005? Because if you didn't, then that's going to mess up your answer. Times 230. And what'd you get? 1.15. Good. Alright, so you are ready to start the assignment. Again, there are only 10 problems, or sorry, there's only 15 problems. You may use your calculator, but once again, I want you to show me this right here, as well as then finding your answer, okay? So not just answers on this sheet. I don't know how much more clear I can be about that.